Lakshmyai Namah. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits. In the recent times I have made a detailed transit video, prediction video for the year 2026 wherein I have collectively spoken about Jupiter, Saturn and Rahu Ketu's transit. That video is available on my channel, you must check it out. It will give you the overall analysis for the year, a very detailed and at the same time a simple one. And I always say that transits will never define your destiny or the point of action. Sometimes people have an expectation that transits should trigger life events for me. They're not solely responsible for life events. A transit alone cannot get you married. A transit alone cannot get you a job. A transit alone cannot grant you enormous amount of wealth or cannot fix your health issues. It has to be read along with certain yogas and also dashas in the chart. Now, relationships matters are going to get intense over the next few weeks because Venus, Shukra, is going to go combust. It is entering Scorpio on 26th of November and it will stay in the sign of Scorpio till 20th of December. Now, throughout this time, Venus will be under combustion. There will be instances in the second half of this transit wherein Venus will experience deep combustion, wherein it will be quite close within 5 degrees of the sun, it will face deep combustion. But most of the time, Venus will be behind sun. So when it is behind sun, it is forming a yoga in place as well. Whether this yoga works favorably for you or not, that depends on the kind of lordship Venus Sun has in your chart. During this transit, Venus will also be conjoined with Mars. Mars and Venus are also in a yoga, also in a yuti. The reason for this is because Venus is relatively faster moving compared to Surya and also Mars. Therefore, when it is behind or at lower degrees, it is a yoga. When Venus is at higher degrees, then that is the opposite, which can probably have some detrimental effects as well based on the natal placement of the chart. Venus will also come in contact with Mercury because when Mercury will move direct and it will enter Scorpio in early December. So Mercury and Venus will also have a conjunction for a brief period. We will see 4 planets in the sign of Scorpio. Then Mars moves out. Thereafter, Venus will be in conjunction with Sun and Mercury. Let us try and understand how this conjunction and also the combustion effect of Venus is having an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Now, you must remember that combustion as a phenomena is referred to as curse of the king from a Vedic astrological point of view in Jyotish terms. When a planet comes very close to the sun in terms of its placement, it loses its energy, which means that sun's heat is overpowering and at the same time the planet loses its significance. Venus has a certain exception there because Venus is the brightest planet. It has tons of energy itself when it comes to brightness. So it is least impacted. Considering all the other planets, Venus is the only planet that is least impacted by the combustion of sun. So is Mercury as well because Mercury is always very close proximity with the sun. But in this time, firstly, Venus is making a transit in Scorpio where Mars is already placed. It is in great strength. Till 7th of December, they will have a conjunction. Mars has a greater say. And Venus somehow during this period will be losing its significance. So over the next few weeks, it is extremely important for you to protect your relationship. Scorpio is a natural 8th sign. It does bring deep transformation. It is a watery sign, so from a tattva point of view, it is quite a comfortable position for Venus because Venus is also Jala tattva. But Venus's element is associated to rivers or pure water. Scorpio's water element is the water that is beneath the surface of the earth, which is underground water, which is not visible. That is why it is deep, it is dark. Now, Scorpio as a natural sign also indicates secrets, hidden things. So therefore, a lot of people would probably face the heat because their true reality is going to come in picture. Secrets and certain scandals are expected to come out over the next few weeks. We could hear major news with regards to certain secret affairs, secret relationships, or of course, certain things that can come out in the open. Now, I also say that based on Vedic astrological principles, based on the principles of Jyotish, when Venus and Sun make a conjunction, it is very auspicious for relationships because Sun is the one that also brings loyalty, but not by the virtue of fact when Venus is combust, and that too in the sign of Scorpio. So, this conjunction will work differently in different signs. In this sign, it could be slightly detrimental towards the relationship. So, wherever we are, whoever we are with, try and stay low key, try and stay protective with regards to your relationship. Follow the path of Sun, which is consistency and also loyalty. That is the key message that I'd like to give you. During this time, Venus will be having a 7th drishti on its own sign of Taurus. Therefore, Venus desires family matters, financial matters to take into account, and how you can accumulate to a great extent. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. Venus Shukra is entering Scorpio on 26th of November, will stay here till 20th of December. So this falls in your 8th house. You will have multiple planets being placed in the 8th house throughout this time. Primarily Venus, Sun and Mars will be in conjunction till 7th of December, and most of the time till mid of December, Venus and Surya will be forming a conjunction, and Venus is technically combust as well, wherein it is losing its significance. Now Venus has special position in the 8th house because he is the only graha that has the knowledge of Mrit Sanjeevani by the blessings of Lord Shiva. So it is giving you good protection. It is good for longevity matters. It is good to bring in a change in your lifestyle. It is good for transforming your relationship. It is also good in terms of fulfillment of relationship. Venus is the 2nd lord and the 7th lord. So he plays a very important role in your family, finances, particularly those finances that you accumulate, your speech, your food, what you consume, and also the 7th lord of those people who you follow or the people who follow you. This is the house of following. So Venus is trying to bring in a sense of fulfillment in your relationship. One of the key messages that I'd like to bring to you is that certain hidden desires, secrets are likely to come out. This will be related to yourself and your spouse, your partner. So of course, be very careful, be very protective of your relationship, because when Venus is combust, its significations are getting lost. Venus represents harmony, abundance. It represents interaction between 2 or more people. So this is where you could expect some sort of conflict situation in you, within your family, with your spouse, with your partner. In case you're trying to step into a new relationship, trying to find someone, this might not be the most ideal time for you to look up to having a particular match. So this is where, from a transformation point of view, it is good. Venus does indicate your personality level transformations. Of course, it will bring in a sense of eloquence. Sun's conjunction brings in leadership potential. Mars brings in tons of energy as well. And Venus has a direct 7th aspect on your 2nd house, which desires careful attention in family matters, what you say, how you say, and of course, leveraging the power of your relationship for financial gains. So if you're looking forward to it, it could be a good transit for you. Otherwise, this could be slightly challenging when it comes to all relationship matters. But for your lifestyle, you have an opportunity to take things in your hands and bring in a 180-degree change in your lifestyle, and my best wishes to you. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. Venus Shukra becomes your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. Therefore, it plays a very important role. Regardless of whatever time period you're going through, Venus is the Lord of your Ascendant. He rules yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your intelligence, decision-making capacity. It also represents your health. Venus also becomes the 6th Lord. He rules Libra. Now, Venus is also most of the time a warrior at work, or probably you have to have a lot of conflict at work, because Libra is the Mool Trikon sign, which is 6 houses away from Taurus. So at work, or if you have prominent positions of Venus, you have to do a lot of competition, and this is where relationships will play a very important role for you to succeed in competitive environment. You cannot do it alone. Venus here is also your 6th Lord. He represents your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, debts, diseases, repayment of debts. Shukra is making a transit in the 7th house along with Mars and Surya. It will have a conjunction. Sun is your 4th Lord, and Mars becomes your 12th lord. So, of course, this will cause an increase in your expenditure when it comes to partnership, when it comes to home related expenditure. Mercury's conjunction can also make you very impulsive. So, do not rush into making a decision of buying things for your home or purchasing something for your partner or spouse that could be very expensive. You could be inclined towards making such decisions. This is where you have to be a little bit careful, because when Venus is under combustion, your thinking will not act in the most appropriate manner when it comes to dealing with relationships. Though Venus is the Karaka, significator of the 7th house, Mars attains Maran Karak position. Sun is also weak in this position. So, from a Karakatva point of view, Venus still has a better dignity here. When it is aspecting your ascendant, it is time for you to evolve your personality. It is time for you to think before you act. Act with a lot of preparation, with a lot of valor, because Mars is also aspecting, with leadership potential, because Sun also has an aspect which is a lot of stage in your ascendant, and use the power of relationship building to overcome any odds in your life. Time to stay a bit low key when it comes to your personal priorities, your personal decision making, because when your Lagna Lord is under combustion, you should not be in a position to take major decisions in your life for the next few weeks. In case these decisions are pertaining to your business, pertaining to your partnership, this is where you have to be a little bit low key, but it is an excellent time to improve your personality, to bring in a sense of eloquence, to be well presentable, and you will be very conscious in terms of taking steps, in terms of dressing up, in terms of your personal grooming. For that, it's a very excellent time period. Continue to remedy Sun. If you were to strengthen Venus, keep your house clean, keep open spaces in your apartment, villa, or wherever you live absolutely clean and tidy. For Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs, Venus is the only Yoga Karak or the most favorable planet in your case, because he is your 5th lord and also the 12th lord. 5th lord becomes the most favorable planet for any ascendant, and I have mentioned this a number of times. Being the 12th lord, it gives it a bit neutral disposition, but based on Brihat Parashar Horoshastra, Shukra is the Yoga Karak Graha for Gemini ascendants. It's not even Mercury, not even Shani. It is Venus, your 5th lord of future, positional success, mantras and mantra based remedies, and at the same time, it also represents your children, it represents your creativity. Venus is the 12th lord, higher self-consciousness, losses, expenditure, your ability to help, your ability to donate. Now Shukra is going to be combust till late in December, but for time being till 20th of December, it will going to be in Scorpio, combust, that is in your 6th house. 6th house represents your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, debts, disease, health and well-being. Venus attains Maran Karak position, or it is a debt-like position in the 6th house. Secondly, it is combust. It is technically without any energy, without any power to give you some results. Forget about positive, negative results. It will reduce your expenditure, that is for sure. That is the only good thing which is happening during this transit. But it's a double whammy kind of a situation. Firstly, it's combust. Secondly, it's Maran Karak. So, your daily routine could probably see some sort of indiscipline over the course of next few weeks. You also have a tendency to attract some opposition. However, some of these planets are favorable because Sun is in conjunction, Mercury is in conjunction, which are friendly to your Lagna Lord Mercury, and of course Mercury is your Lagna Lord. So somehow you will have the confidence to deal with things. Your communication and leadership will be apt. But till 7th of December, you have to try and stay low key. Couple of good things that this transit is bringing in. One, of course, it will make you travel. It will make you maybe go to a places. You can go on a vacation, or you could take a break momentarily. And secondly, it will reduce your expenditure. It is not the most ideal time for any future planning, any future decision making. Try and stay low key. I would say take a break if you want to. Be very protective of your relationship. See, 6th house doesn't break a relationship. It could create a difference. It could create a distance momentarily with regards to relationship, but this does not break the relationship, and I have seen it in my research in hundreds of such horoscopes, wherein 6th house has planets, and of course the marriage has been very strong, especially when 7th lord is also in the 6th house. It does give a sense of protection. This time period, please maintain consistency, please protect your routine, and continue to strengthen Venus continue to offer water to sun in order to pacify and continue the momentum in your life. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. Venus is transit in Scorpio between 26th of November till 20th of December. This is happening in your 5th house. Now in 5th house, Venus generally does very well because it is a natural benefic planet. In your case, it has more of a neutral disposition because it rules one quadrant house. It is your 4th lord and the 11th lord. Some people say 11th lord gives massive wealth. No, it is absolutely wrong. Massive wealth is seen from a combination of many grahas. Any graha has the capacity to give massive wealth. The right division charts and particularly Navamsha should play a very important role here. Venus does well in the 5th house because mantras work here, futuristic approach works here. Venus is your 4th lord of comfort, your happy space, your home, your protection. Also the 11th lord of obstacles. For you, Venus becomes the Badikesh or lord of obstacles. And Venus also becomes the lord of wider social network, income, material comforts, material expense, and of course material gains at your expense. Venus will be conjoined with Sun, who is your 2nd lord, forming a Dhan Yoga, because the 11th lord and 2nd lord are making a conjunction in the 5th house along with 5th lord Mars. So till 7th of December, I do see some sort of gain in your financial position, because when Venus has gone combust, you will have less obstacles, you will have more of routine, you will be very futuristic. You have to channel Mars or Sun in order to make the most of your future. Mercury will also join this conjunction, so this could increase your expenditure. So when expenditure increases, income also increases. This is one of the vital Dhan Yogas that you have during this time, and most importantly, what is also happening is that during this conjunction, now Sun is in a supreme dignity because that's your 2nd lord being placed in the 5th house, which could likely give you a positional success, some sort of recognition, some sort of elevation considering your current role. So perfect time for future planning. Do not worry about whether it causes any disruption in your personal life or in your gains. I do not expect detrimental effects of this transit. Yes, while dealing with the opposite sex, while dealing with people of the opposite sex, you have to be a little bit careful because this could lead to some sort of allegation, false allegation, because 5th house we also see corruption. So as long as you're very clear in your communication, you're not ambiguous, you don't say anything that you have to regret later, you're pretty much okay. From a health point of view, please take care of your stomach because they're mixed energies, a combination of fire element, earth element, water element. A lot of mix up is happening in the 5th house. So please watch what you eat in order to protect your health and well-being. Mantra based remedies could work very well for you. A mantra related to Mars or Sun will be ideal for you. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. Venus or Shukra's transit in Scorpio till 20th of December. And it will be combust. So the combustion will go on throughout this year. However, in Scorpio, we do have some reasons to worry. When Venus will be combust in Sagittarius, at least it is having an aspect by Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati. But here it is away from this aspect. Momentarily, it will be conjoined with Mercury. Now, during this time, what is happening? Your ascendant Lord Sun is in conjunction with Venus. So, this is a conjunction between your ascendant Lord and the 10th Lord in your 4th house, along with the 4th Lord. So, this time period, the next 4 weeks, calls for a greater sense of balance between your home and work. Venus is your 10th Lord. He rules your Karya Bhava, your profession, your actions in the society, and of course, what you do to survive yourself in the world. Sun is your Lagna Lord that represents yourself. Mars is your 4th Lord that represents your home. So, of course, you need to work from home. You need to spend some time doing some chores or of course carry work at home. This could be very good for you. Set up a nice workspace. In case you have prominent placements of Sun and Venus, you should definitely have an office at home. All right, from a remedial point of view, this could be very good work related remedy, even if you probably work 80% of the time from the office. Now, during this time, Venus, who is also your 3rd Lord, who represents efforts, valor, courage, Any efforts that you put managing your assets, you will be successful. Any efforts that you put in terms of your workplace to build credible relationship, it could be good for you. Venus is under combustion, so yes, this could create or probably bring in some new assignments, new kind of work, some new people who you would work with, and you could be slightly uncomfortable while working with these people. Also, stay away from any office politics, any not so good situation that you might step into which could become problematic for you. Stay away from toxicity, stay away from over smart people, because these over smart people could create some mistakes and this could have some sort of allegation on you. So this is where you have to be very careful. Focus and be mindful of your own work, of your own protection. Venus is having an aspect on the 10th house. 7th aspect is there. Mars will also have an aspect. Sun will also have an aspect. Mercury will. So this time period demands communication at work, cordial relationships, and at the same time looking good in the eyes of your leaders. How you can make your bosses shine, leaders shine. This is going to be the expectation from you. And if you fulfill this expectation, then of course you'll get a lot of support. Otherwise, this could be a conflicting situation for you, and my best wishes. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. Venus or Shukra transit in Scorpio, Vrishchika Rashi, where it will be placed in Mars' sign. It will undergo combustion because it will mostly be in close contact with Sun, Surya. Technically till December, early January, Venus is under combustion, sometimes under deep combustion as well, but in Sagittarius it will have some support of Jupiter's aspect. Now Venus is your second lord and the ninth lord. These two are Lakshmi Bhav. So they play a very important role in our financial growth and development, and these lords can bring enormous amount of wealth. Second lord is all about accumulation, your consumption, the money that you earn. What will you consume? What will you accumulate? Anything that you possess in life, what will you consume? What will you accumulate or save? It's storage space. Those people who you would like to protect, that's your family. Ninth lord of Dharma, Bhagya, fortune, long journeys, higher education. Venus signifies relationship, love, harmony, interaction between people. Third house represents communication, your efforts, valor, courage. So you will see a differentiated approach. See, till 7th of December, you still have support because any efforts that you will put, you will have energy, you will have valor, you will have rigor, because Mars is there, he's the significator. And somehow you have a protective force. Venus gets very high sense of desire in the third house. So this is where the character becomes questionable. So please stay away consciously from any activities, any discussions, any people who could harm your reputation, your character, and you need to consciously develop a strong character. This is what Sun demands in the third house. Sun and Venus, when they form a conjunction, it is mostly very good for relationship, because the lessons that you learn the hard way makes you a very loyal, dedicated and a committed person. That only happens after learning certain lessons. Now this is where you have to channel your desires, you have to ensure that you keep your desires at the lower side. Of course, not a very great time for you to take financial decisions. Any paperwork where your family is involved, any government related paperwork, you could be spending more time here. Useless energies, irrelevant energies. Venus's aspect is on the 9th house. So it is protecting your fortune. Sun is also doing that. Mars is giving a lot of energy, and Mercury will also form a conjunction with Venus. So you have some support. Early December onwards, you would expect some betterment in terms of your efforts and elevation of your fortune, your bhagya. You could go on journeys, go on a spiritual retreat, travel during this time. This will be my recommendation. And most importantly, journal. Write about gratitude. Third house is your hand, particularly your working hand. And this is where if you write about gratitude, you're strengthening Venus, and this is the best remedy for you. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. Your ascendant lord will be technically combust for the next few weeks. Now initially it will be combust in the sign of Scorpio, where it is forming a conjunction with Sun. That is the reason for its combustion. Now when the ascendant lord goes combust, whatever dasha that you're going through, You have to be very calculative, very cautious while taking major decisions in your life, because you will have some illusion, some confusion, and other energies are kind of overpowering you. Sun here becomes your 11th lord, the one who rules obstacles as well. So you could face some obstacles when it comes to financial matters. Though Venus is in Dhan Yoga because it is conjoined with Mars and your 11th lord Sun. So there could be financial gains, there could be financial losses. That will depend on your ongoing Dasha Antardasha. So you will have some financial shift. So in case you do speculative investments, stock trading, other investments, please be careful. Avoid a big risk or avoid any kind of impulsive actions when it comes to dealing with your money. Be very careful of your speech, what you say, how you say, when you say. There's a mix of fire, plus there's water energies as well, but fire is dominating. So anything that you say, you have to be careful because you cannot take your words back. Now, this is a time period wherein you have to invest yourself, spend more time consciously with your family. Venus will get the support of Mercury early in December, where it will be conjoined with Mercury, and it will, when Mercury moves back to Scorpio, this is when Mercury will be in direct motion because that's your 9th lord. So this is where you will get the support of fortune. Your finances could have betterment. So I would expect that mid-December, your financial position, probably you should have some sort of financial gain, because this is where Sun will also move, change signs. Sun will form a yoga with Jupiter, and of course Venus and Mercury will be together in the sign of Scorpio. But you should stay away from any risky investments. Venus is aspecting your 8th house. Number of planets are aspecting. Take this time to transform yourself, transform your body, your personality. Venus is your Lagna, so body related transformation is inevitable. Be cautious of what you eat, what you consume. Avoid indulgence, avoid extravagance. You would want to try different foods. So try and stay balanced. This is very important for you, because otherwise you could have some health issues, you could have a bad stomach, or you could be susceptible towards food poisoning, because Venus is also the 8th lord. So it could bring health related issues here when it is going combust and when it is forming a yoga with Mars, who's your 2nd lord and the 7th lord. So this is a time wherein you have to exercise some caution, but focus more on healthy habits, good eating habits, and at the same time try and stay low key. Continue to strengthen Mercury to gain the most during this time. Scorpio ascendants or Scorpio moon signs. This is a video about Venus making a transit in Scorpio in your Lagna, in your ascendant, and I'm giving you very practical tips, practical advice, practical predictions if Venus, Sun, Mars, Mercury, any of these planets have any role to do in your dasha. Alright, now Venus is entering your Lagna. Now it's your 12th lord and also your 7th lord, so it plays a very important role in your expenditure, losses, your higher self-consciousness, your ability to help others, donations, your sleep, bed comforts, and also the 7th lord of following those people who you follow or the people who follow you, your spouse, your sense of opposition, and your ability to deal with opposite energies, external world of people, things, and events. Venus's Lagna is good, but when it is placed in the sign of Scorpio, it could bring some detrimental effects in your relationship. So firstly, your spouse or partner may be very much reliant on you, or would have an expectation that you do the expense management, you do budget management. So you could have some deep financial discussions, financial debate or argument with your partner or your spouse. So this is where you have to be careful. Now, Sun and Mars are making a conjunction in Lagna. Mercury will also join Venus, where it gains directional strength. So over the course of next few weeks, you can improve, you can expect some improvement. This time period is very important to evolve your personality. Venus is weak, you will take more efforts. Now when Venus is weak, your expenditure should go down because it's combust. But money, finances would become the talking point in your relationship. And this is where you have to be a little bit careful. It could cause some conflict, some issue, some communication gap or lack of interaction, right? You could probably go through a crisis kind of a situation, or probably you might not be very much energetic when it comes to your sense of affection, love and harmony. But you focus on building your personality, you focus on yourself, your levels of energy, your leadership style, your ability to interact with others, and of course your communication as well. All of this is likely to improve, wherein you can excel at work, You could be very busy in terms of your chores or your working life. You could also have some travel opportunities at this time, particularly if you go on a journey with your partner. This could be very fruitful for you. So I would urge you to take a break, this holiday season and go somewhere, and at the same time connect with the nature. Venus is having a 7th drishti on your 7th house, so it demands harmony, a sense of interaction. Sun is also aspecting, he demands loyalty. Mars is aspecting, he demands energy. So loyalty, interaction, energy in your relationship. Mercury will also do, and Mercury demands communication. So if you take a note of all these 4 things, then of course you can have a good transit. You could have some minor health issues because of an indisciplined lifestyle. As far as you keep that a check, this should be good for you. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. Venus or Shukra, who's your 6th lord and the 11th lord. One of the most not so idealistic planet for Sagittarius, because Venus shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna lord Jupiter. Being the 6th and the 11th lord, these are 2 not so good houses. The lord becomes difficult because becomes very much there to bring opposition in your life, bigger enemies. 6th house, we see enemies, competition, debts, diseases, health issues, health and well-being. We also see job, your seva. This is the house of seva, service. 11th lord is even bigger enemies, because this is 6 from the 6th house by the Bhavat Bhavam concept. But 11th lord is responsible for your income, for your financial gains, for your financial well-being, for the sense of illusion and also fulfillment in life. It is the house of Maya. It is also the Upachaya Bhava. So Venus plays an important role in growth related matters, because 6th house and 11th house are Upachaya Bhavas. Venus making a transit in the 12th house in Scorpio. You will have multiple planets conjunct in your 12th house. 12th and 6th axis is very active. Please take care of your health. Make sure that you're protected. Watch your sleep. You could have sleep related issues that can be disrupted. You will feel like insomnic kind of situation. So this is where you have to take things in your control. Have some sort of daily routine, because you could feel a lot lethargic. You'll be lazy. This is where if you establish a 30 to 40 minutes morning routine, things could be good for you. Venus relatively does well in the 12th house because he naturally gets exalted here. But Venus is combust. So one thing is good, that it will not bring any enemies or opposition. And if there is opposition, they are losing. So your competition is losing, your opposition is losing. But you have to watch your health. Venus is conjoined with Mars, Sun, later with Mercury as well. So there are mixed energies. You could have some unnecessary, wasteful assignments or projects wherein you will have least interest. But let this time pass. Just keep doing your duty. Mid-December onwards, things are significantly going to improve in terms of your decision making, your level of confidence. This is the only time when you have to stay a bit careful. See, Venus is giving you Viparit Yoga. So circumstances needs to go adverse for you to rise. Mars is also giving you Viparit Yoga. Sun is in Maran Karak, which is your 9th lord. So you will have less support of fortune as well. So try and stay low key. Yes, this time period can bring travel opportunities. Spiritual travel can be very good for you, because when the 9th lord is involved in the 12th house, either you get into some devotional practices or you go on a spiritual retreat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a 12 syllable or a Dwadash Akshari mantra, which could be very good for you to balance these energies in your life and also help you in your spiritual sadhana. Otherwise, I would urge you to do Surya Namaskar or Sun salutations at least 12 rounds each and every day. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. Venus making a transit in Scorpio and undergoing combustion. Though Venus is in combustion for the next few weeks, which is never good for relationship matters. Things become sensitive in our personal lives. However, it does not apply to anyone and everyone. For Capricorn ascendants, Venus becomes a Yoga Karak or the most favorable planet, because he is your 5th lord and the 10th lord. He rules 2 Rajya Bhavas. The house of your positional success, power, authority, autonomy, mantras, your children, and therefore it becomes the house of future. 10th lord, your profession, your actions, your job, your business, your duty, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in the world. Multiple planets are conjoined in the 11th house between mid-November till mid-December. This is good news for you. In spite of Venus being combust, whenever there is a planet in the 11th house, by the virtue of placement, it does very well. 11th Lord is there, your 10th Lord Venus is there, your 8th Lord Surya is there. That can bring some sort of obstruction. And at the same time, Venus and Mercury are also going to be there, who are your trinal lords. So they are in yoga. So you should be rest assured of your financial position. Financial improvement is inevitable. Before 28th of December, you should get some good news with regards to your financial progress. Though this could bring some strong opposition. You would be opposed by the leaders. Workplace, you have to be a bit careful because you could face some politics situation. Be very protective of your reputation, your self-esteem and your overall confidence. This time period, you must invest your time and energy in future planning. Put down your goals. Not that the new year is coming, but you have to be very consistent in your approach with regards to setting these goals. There are Dhan Yogas there, but you could be in a position to either get a new difficult assignment, difficult project, or deal with very challenging bosses, very challenging people. But if you're able to manage these dynamics, success is guaranteed because planets give good results at the material level in the 11th house. But during this time, you do not have any planets in your quadrant houses. So this is where decision making becomes challenging. Saturn going direct will of course still slow down things, okay, but gradually it will be very progressive for your mental peace. And this is something which you have to look forward to. So you will gain a lot of mental peace over the course of next few weeks, but stay away from office politics. Since Venus is aspecting your 5th house, mantra based remedies will work very good for you. A simple Lakshmi mantra, that is Om Lakshmyai Namah, will be excellent for you. Or you could do a Shiva Panchakshari for your 5th house, which is Namah Shivaya, to strengthen it and help you navigate through this time. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. Venus is transit in the sign of Scorpio. This is happening in your 10th house. A number of planets are placed in the 10th house. One thing is quite certain, from now till mid-December, till 20th of December, your decision making is going to be most positive. You could act as a supporting pillar for other people. Other people will come to you to take your advice. You could become a counselor, you could become a trusted advisor. You could become the go-to person of other people, and workplace success is inevitable in case your Dasha Antardasha is conducive. You have a greater chance to succeed at workplace in spite of Venus going combust in Scorpio. Venus is your 4th Lord and the 9th Lord. So he rules a Kendra and a trinal house. Becomes the Yoga Karak or most favorable planet. 4th Lord of your happy space, your mother, your home, your comfort, and the 9th Lord of your Bhagya, long journeys, higher spiritual education. Venus is conjoined with Mars till 7th of December, which is a Dharma Karma Yoga, one of the most strong, powerful Raj Yogas of Jyotish. Surya is involved, who's your 7th Lord. So good for your spouse. You could become a supporting mechanism for your spouse. Or this time period could be relatively successful for your spouse as well. Of course, that depends on their chart in the time period as well. Sun gains direction strength in the 10th house, Mars gains direction strength. Mercury will also join Venus, who is the significator of the 10th house, and Venus is also one of the significator because Venus represents relationship at work. Now, when it is combust, you cannot rely a lot on fortune. You will have to step out of your comfort zone. You'll have to try new things. You'll have to try new experiments. If you have a hobby or an interest or something that you like doing, you have to protect it because you could lose interest. Your energy levels could go down over the course of next few weeks. You could have some minor health issues. So make sure you keep yourself hydrated, you keep yourself energetic, take your vitamins, supplements, minerals, protein, whatever you want to take, and exercise each and every day. Now, in the 10th house, planets give good results. Your decision making is being protected because there are blessings of Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu, when Mars gains direction strength and Surya also gains direction strength. So you be rest assured that in spite of all odds, you're going to take some very good decisions between November, December, which are crucial months for you. So make the most of these energies. Look up to Goddess Lakshmi in order to strengthen Venus, and you must remedy Sun. Whenever a planet goes combust, we must remedy Sun. Keep open spaces in your house clean. Declutter your house, declutter your workspace. Offer water to the Sun first thing in the morning. You can use the mantra Om Grini Surya Aditya in that case, and this will give the due strength and support to Venus. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. Venus is entering Scorpio, will stay here till 20th of December. This is happening in your 9th house of Bhagya, fortune, long journeys, higher education, spiritual education. Venus being a natural beneficer or Shubh it does very well in the 9th house because of its benefic qualities. Now, in your case, Venus becomes a potent potent functional malefic, being the 3rd lord and the 8th lord, two not so good houses. 3rd lord represents your valor, your courage, your efforts, change. 8th lord becomes the lord of your secret hidden desires. This is a very hidden house, it's a very secretive house, it's a very mysterious house. It also represents longevity. It represents your weaknesses, your adversities in life and how you overcome adversities. So when Venus is combust, certain relationship secrets or hidden desires can come out. You have to protect your dharma because when there are mixed energies in a particular house, it creates a little bit of an instability as well. Good news is that till 7th of December, Mars is very strong in the sign of Scorpio. It is conjoined with Surya, who is your 6th lord, and Surya and Mars both share a friendly relationship with your Lagna lord Jupiter. Mercury will also join this conjunction. So you have to be very protective of your dharma, of your fundamentals in life, your lineage, and of course, build cordial relationship with your father or your guru or your teacher. You could have some conflict situation here. This time period, yes, you could go on journeys. Journeys could be across the sea. Long journeys, long travel, because the 6th and the 8th lord are in a conjunction with the 9th lord in the 9th house itself. So in case your dasha and the dasha is conducive, this could make you travel. But you will be involved in some unnecessary paperwork, unnecessary documents. If there's some government paperwork involved, yes, you will have some chance, some success here. Some good news could be coming. If it is related to your identity, your personal documents, and of course some blockages, if it has been there, you could expect some favorable results. Venus is aspecting your 3rd house by the 7th aspect of desire. And 3rd house is your desires itself. So of course it will be on a very higher side. And any efforts that you put, you have to be very mindful of it. Firstly, leverage the power of relationship in terms of collective efforts. So joint efforts, collective efforts will be very helpful for you. This house represents communication in your marriage along with your spouse because this is 3rd from your 7th house. So it will increase your communication but bring in a sense of dominance and fiery energy. So please channel your aggressive quotient and try to stabilize your mind. Try to have some spiritual practices, mindfulness, and go on a spiritual journey or take up a pilgrimage during this time. This will be very beneficial for you. Continue to strengthen your Lagna lord Jupiter for most positive results. So friends, this was yet another simple and unique video, my perspective in terms of Venus making a transit in Scorpio, where it will come in contact with multiple planets and it will be under combustion. I hope and believe Venus's transit helps us consciously work towards our relationship, try to stay low key, be protective of whatever we can, and try to improve our personality and the sense of eloquence in our life. Stay tuned for more such videos on the channel. Thank you very much. God bless you all.